Yo,
It's a song.
is that a song or what? What?
I don't.
Sorry about that sign in the back, dude. Dave's gonna tell me not to worry about it. What did he say?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about anything about anything.
What are you doing?
I don't
Because
know.
we're doing a podcast right now.
I was looking for something, but I can't find it, so it's fine.
A song?
No, not the song. But I know I've heard that song with my kids playing it in the car.
It's Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan?
Chapel.
I thought you said Toblerone.
Oh my gosh, we should not podcast this early in the morning, dude. What is happening? I did
I
not
was
say
like,
Toblerone.
Toblerone, the candy from the airport, is who sings that song?
You're so stupid. Wait, they have that at the airport?
What?
I love that candy.
I don't think I've ever seen it outside of an airport. Where are you getting your Toblerone?
Walgreens.
Walgreens. All right. Welcome to this early morning edition of Take It or Leave It. I'm your host, Meredith Masony.
And I'm your host, Tiffany Jenkins. This podcast will discuss everything from marriage to motherhood, everything in between. Please remember that it's 7:30 in the morning here.
Oh.
And we're not in charge of things and we don't know things.
Mm.
And we're not professionals.
So you could take it
or leave it because it
Yeah.
might be crap.
It's going to be crap today is what you're going to get. As what my grandfather would say, shit on a shingle.
What?
That's what you're going to get. Shit on a shingle.
What is that? Is that because it slides?
I'm not sure, but he used to feed it to us for breakfast.
Shit on a shingle?
Yeah, it was chipped beef on toast. He used to be the he was in the army and he was a cook.
Oh, cool.
And so he would, I guess he had mess hall duty and they used to serve chipped beef on toast and that was called shit on a shingle.
Love that.
And so when we'd go to his house, that's what we would have for breakfast.
That's an interesting breakfast.
Dave says, "Hey, are you guys going on tour?" That was his nice way to prompt us into a tour ad.
Already? We just started.
I know. Not the best way to promote it either. Hey, you want some shit on a shingle?
Speaking of shit on a shingle.
Speaking of.
We're going on tour.
We're going on tour. You could watch this shit on a shingle live in person. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You can go to podcasttakeitoleaveit.com and see our dates. There's 2 right now.
It's so funny for some reason.
We do have more dates working, though, so don't stress out. We just haven't posted them yet. We are finalizing all of those diddly details as we speak.
Oh, diddly details. I like it.
Yeah. And getting all of that going. But but seriously, we are going on tour. We will be coming hopefully to a city near you. And it's going to be fun and exciting. Live audience participation, lots of fun shit on a shingle going on at the podcast tour.
So much fun.
So much fun.
And a meet and greet.
And all of the things. So it is really going to be, we are really, really, really excited to get back out on the road.
We are. We just haven't had our coffee yet this morning. And we also don't know that putting an ad at the very beginning of a podcast is like legal.
Well, Dave just came in and he's like, tell everybody who's listening to the podcast right now to hit pause and tell all of their friends via text that you're going on tour.
That's so cute. I love that.
He's excited. I don't know if he's excited to get me out of the house because I've been home for a while.
Yeah, no, he seems pretty eager.
He does seem eager. He's an eager beaver.
No. You were dying for that. As soon as you saw that window open, you dove through it.
What?
The eager beaver window.
Oh, stop it.
Like you didn't even hesitate. You were so happy to bring up a beaver at this hour.
An eager beaver. Yeah. So it's lots of exciting things happened this week.
They did?
No.
True that.
Just one thing, I guess. Maybe I put up my Christmas tree. So
That was the one thought in your head when you're like, this has been the most action-packed week of my life so far.
it really has. It really was. It was those of you who know me know that I put my Christmas tree up in September. Because I'm weird and I do it for my birthday. It's my birthday present to myself. And I've done it for the last like 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so happy to see the Christmas lights on the tree.
Mm.
So I do it every year. And so this past week we put the tree up, which was very exciting for me because every day I've had the lights on in the house.
Mm.
And it makes me really, really happy. So earlier this week, Dave was putting the smart things together where your lights turn on when you talk to the Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, Alexa, turn on, blah, 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 whatever. So he got some of the things to do that. And he wanted to turn the tree on. And right before he was getting ready to set the tree, we had gotten into a fight, which is not uncommon for us. And so we were fighting about something, and he named the tree He Loves Me Tree, so that I had to say, Alexa, turn on He Loves Me Tree every time.
That's so cute. So that you remember that he loves you?
So that I'll remember that he loves me, even though I'm a pain in the ass. And those are his words.
I really wish he would have made that whole thing the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, turn on He Loves. Oh, wait, we can't say that. Sorry. Hold on. I feel like so bad because I just set off so many people's things.
So many Alexas. I do it all the time when I'm live and I'm talking to Alexa and people are like, oh, my Alexa just turned on XYZ. And it's never the right thing either.
I try not to use that word for that reason.
Yeah.
But since we're here, Alexa, play the poop game.
Mm.
Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Is it a real game?
Yep. And now everybody who's listening has to play it because it's going off in their house.
Oh.
You
Not
have
in my
to
house.
pick a poop and decide if it's nutty or soft. And she's going to ask you, it's like 20 questions about poop.
Oh. Is your poop nutty? Nuttier than a fruitcake?
Okay. First of all, I really wish that everybody listening could see what I just saw. Because you just reminded me of like a drunk old lady laughing at her own joke at a bar. Is what, like you were so proud of the joke, like that you started laughing and sipping immediately. Like
I
it
did.
was so
I did.
funny.
Like I had a glass of sherry.
Yeah, you're like nuttier than a fruitcake.
Listen, I am not normally, I might be awake at this hour, but I'm not doing anything that's supposed to be productive.
I know, that's so funny because I told you I'm up at 4 a.m. Let's do it early.
I mean, yeah, but then this is what happens.
Yeah. Now I don't know who I am as a person, really.
Yeah. Are you eating a corn dog for breakfast? A corn dog and a waffle? Oh, you got some food groups together there.
They have breakfast corn dogs that
Yeah, I
have.
did. I saw those right next to the other corn dogs, but I didn't
Mhm.
buy them because I thought,
Who would
well,
eat this for breakfast?
well, I bought the corn dogs for the children. So those were not a purchase for Dave, but that's
That's
okay.
Dave. Dave is eating that?
Dave is eating a corn dog and a waffle and a glass of orange juice.
Oh, he's going through it, Meredith. We need to check on him.
Listen, we did have a week, and I will tell you, for those of you who are struggling in your marriage alongside of us, and we have been pretty vocal about, going to therapy and some of the things that we've been going through. And I've even given, some of the stuff that our therapist has told us or whatever. But I will say that this past week was a rough one, and we had some arguments, and there was lots of tension. And I think when you, and I don't know if it matters how long you've been married. I'm sure it must, right? It must matter. The longer you're married, sometimes I feel like the tension is greater because you've been married to that person for so long, right? So I think the tension can build and build and build. And it's not necessarily tension that even belongs in that fight, but you're taking tension from 6 years ago, or, I mean, because, let's be honest, that's how it works sometimes. And so this past week there was a lot of tension. And one thing that we each did for each other, and I don't know if it was conscious or not. I know it was conscious on my side. I'm going to assume it was conscious on Dave's side. Whether it was or not, I don't know that it matters. But we were really struggling. And so one of the things that we're not supposed to do when we're struggling is run away from each other. The therapist is like, do not run away from each other. If you need a timeout, it's okay to ask for a timeout and say that that's what you need. And so sometimes when Dave wants a timeout or needs a timeout or wants to run away from me, he cleans the garage.
Oh, yes. I mean,
that's his like, he likes to go to the garage, and I think it's because he's away from me, right? Like, the whole point is to be away from me.
Yeah, he's like, I will stay in the hot,
I will stay
spider ass garage. Stay away from this bit.
And so what did I do? But I said, I'll clean it with you. And I thwarted his plan.
Wow. What happened? What was his reaction?
After the end of it, and I believe he was happy. I guess he could chime in.
Wait, are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to, if she says, okay. So she said, don't run away. So that counts as like, don't slowly walk away and do something else either.
Right. I think the running part is not necessarily an implication of physical running, but distancing yourself.
So I was going to say, was it legal for you to insert yourself into his escape? But he's not even supposed to be escaping.
Yeah.
So you circumvented. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So I went out and I cleaned the garage with him, which is not something that I wanted to do at all.
Absolutely
but
not.
I was like, you know what? It's been a really rough day. We've been at each other's throats a bit. I don't want him to run from me. I want to be helpful to him in this moment. What can I do? And so when he was like, I'm going to go clean the garage, I was like, I will help you. And so I went out there and I helped him, and we were out there for hours. Oh my God. How many hours were we in that garage? 4, 5 hours.
Oh my gosh. So wait, so did it start off like with animosity? Like you're putting hockey sticks away and you're like, literally, fuck you, Dave. And then by the end of it, you guys are okay? Or how did it go?
I mean, there was definitely tension at the beginning. I don't think we weren't like name calling or anything. It wasn't like we were in the middle of a fight and he was like, I'm going to clean the garage. And I'm like, great, me too. Like it was, it was just tension. And we eventually made our way out into the garage, which I just followed and was like, well, I'm going to help.
That was nice of you, because I would never.
Well, I wanted to be next to him and I wanted to be helpful to him and I didn't want to run away from the problem.
Adorable.
And then we had another disagreement. And what?
Every story has started with we had a fight or a disagreement.
Do you know which one I'm going to talk about now?
No.
When we drove to the bank.
Oh.
Do you want to tell that one?
No, you can say.
Do you want to tell it?
I'll preface it. So, I don't know how long you've been married. 20 years, whatever.
21 next month.
I've never liked or needed to be physically touched, like hugs or hands or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've been going through this, I've told her that is the only thing I need. That's why she's not allowed to run away, because I need her to physically touch me, my arm, my shoulder, something like that.
Is he far away?
Are you far away? Tiffany said she can't really hear you.
Since we've been going through this, I told her that. Is that better?
Oh, so much better.
So much.
You're welcome.
Didn't say. Okay.
I need her to physically touch me, put her hand on my shoulder or my arm or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she
The setup?
She knows that when she wants to get to me, she just walks away, or she'll roll to the other side of the bed and be as far away from me as she physically can.
So even if you guys are fighting, you want like a hand on you.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'll put a hand on someone if I'm fighting them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
So we were
Fist fight.
So we were getting into it and going at each other, and in the middle of the argument, like the height of the argument, Dave was like, I have to go to the bank. And I was like, okay. And he's like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, no, I don't want to go with you. And he's like, I think you misheard me. Do you want to go to the bank? And I was like, it's still a no. And
Maybe I didn't say it slow enough.
Yeah.
The bank.
Yeah. And then he was like, we're going to the bank. And I'm like, okay, so this is how I die. So I'm like, fine. I was like, I'll go to the bank with you, but I'm not going to talk to you. And so we did one of those where we were just still mad at each other, but we were exiting the house. You know, we get into the car, and the rule in the car is I have to touch his arm or his leg. Like he was saying, there has to be physical touch. So I have to touch his arm or his leg. And so I'm in here, I'm sitting next to him in the car. And so the rule that I have right now that's been in therapy is whatever I want to do. Basically, my therapist is like, do the opposite. Do whatever you want to do. Do the total fucking opposite, because that's what a lunatic you are. That's how crazy you are. I need you to do the opposite.
That's hilarious. I've
So
received that.
And I have to vocalize it. I have to say, what I want to do is this. What I am going to do is this, because I have to tell my brain that I'm making a choice and doing what.
So she looks at me and goes, I don't want to touch you, but I'm going to.
So I take my hand and I pick it up and I go bloop onto his arm with
at restaurants,
my fingertips.
at the restaurants where they have the claw game and it just like comes straight down. It was like,
and I just touched the top of his wrist with my fingertips like this, and then looked straight out the window, like I don't even know what. Like
interesting, because I don't know if I could. If I was mad at somebody, I don't know if I could affectionately put a hand.
Well, there
on
was
them.
no affection in it. It was the claw grab thing, and I went down and just touched his arm, and he turned and looked at me and just fucking busted a gut laughing.
Aww.
Just laughed as loud. I've never heard him laugh so loud in my life. And he just looked at me and he's like, what the fuck? And I was just laughing and I was going, oh my God. So then I'm laughing. And of course I'm laughing and I'm like, that's not funny. It's like the most ridiculous, crazy laugh. And so, and of course I'm still annoyed and he's still annoyed, but now he's doing things to purposefully annoy me. Right. And he's like grabbing my hand and like, making me poke him in the eye with it. And like this, it's just stupid. Right. And so it luckily broke the tension.
Yeah, of course. That's great.
But it wasn't even like I really wasn't purposely doing that in order to break the tension. I was just doing what our therapist said I had to do, which was the opposite of what I wanted to do.
That's hilarious to me.
And so we've been having these moments. So if you're, what I wanted to say was these very long stories were, if you're struggling in your marriage, I think you have to show up for your spouse in ways that you would have never anticipated or thought about.
Yeah.
In order to get them to really see that you care, you're trying, you're working.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you don't want to. And like, it's okay to say, I don't want to, but I'm doing this because I know it's important or it's needed or it's what I should be doing. But you're allowed to say, like, I didn't realize you were allowed to be like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And vocalize it. Because I thought, well, that's wrong because you're telling the person who you love most in the world that you don't want to do X, Y, Z. But our therapist is like, oh, you don't have to want to do it. And I was like, really? And she's like, oh, no. And you can even say that, but still do it so that you know that you're meeting your partner's needs or which I don't know that I was meeting anybody's needs by putting the claw arm down.
That's hilarious.
And touching him with my fingertips and going, I don't want to touch you right now, but I know that I am required to show you physical touch. And it was, but it was just, my point of this whole rant was, when you're stuck in those places, show the other person that you love them, even if you're not feeling very lovey or connected in that moment, because the connection will happen if you put yourself into that uncomfortable place and do that work.
That's a good lesson, because I started off thinking there's no way that I could put my hand on I get repulsed by people when they piss me off. I have a question for Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Is he gone?
He just got, I hope he didn't go get another corn dog. Dave.
Tell him to give me a coffee. I'm so thirsty. It's okay. It's not important
for you. No, he's coming. He was just in the kitchen. Were you getting another corn dog? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, he's back.
Okay, Dave.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there ever a time where you don't want her touching you, or like
No.
where you're never?
So, I mean, I guess, I don't know how long is it. What did we say it was? 3.5 months that we've really been at it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like hardcore couples therapy? Like
yeah, so
sometimes two times a week. Yeah.
The whole first week of that, 2 weeks of that. I don't know, the beginning of that, it was right after our trip. We really started getting into it. She asked to hug me, and I said, no, stay away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept asking, and I said, no. And then I think she snuck up on me. Like I turned and she was there, and it was like,
surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, like this is nice.
Aww.
So
it diffused it.
So I was like, maybe I was wrong, and maybe you were right. I should have taken the hug.
Interesting.
And that's where it started. So
interesting.
Like, I mean, in bed when we go to sleep, I mean, we have our own mattresses, we have our own covers, right?
Yes.
We've been using the same cover now. She sleeps on my mattress.
What?
And she I can't sleep unless she's physically touching me.
No fucking way. You guys are the ones who inspired me to get separate ass mattresses from my ex-husband. I was like, that's an option?
The separate mattresses started as a result of snoring and lifting the bed. So I was trying to get him to stop snoring.
That makes sense.
And the split mattresses are about literally, because I like to lay flat, but he has to lay elevated. So at night, what I end up doing is I'm half on my mattress and half on his because I don't want my head elevated. So I'll lay my head on my flat mattress and I'll have my feet and sort of my legs and everything snuggled up to him on his mattress. So I kind of lay with my ass in the crack all night.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, but it's
so I would never, like, if she had her hand on me on my arm, I would literally break out into a sweat right where she was touching me because it would be so hot and I would want to die.
Wow.
But now, no.
That's so interesting that you discovered that.
I wear her like a blanket.
That's freaking adorable. Meredith, that must be interesting for you to go from that not being a huge part of your relationship to now it being like a lifeline.
Yeah. So like I always wanted just enough physical touch to know that he was there. Like he would say, like I couldn't go to sleep until I had my hand on his arm, and he hated it, but he would allow it until I fell asleep, and then he'd move my hand. But that's what I needed. I needed to know, like, I'm safe. He's right here. And so I'd go to sleep and I would literally have my arm across the mattress touching him, just being like, he's here. And that was enough. But now, it's definitely, as we've been going through therapy and working through all of this, it is definitely something that we both needed. And to feel like connected and grounded and all of that.
That's
but
very
it's
cool.
But it was but yeah, so I just thought I would share that because I was thinking about that this morning, where there were just some moments this week where
sacrifice.
We just, neither of us wanted to continue to be in that moment of the space, but like, he was not going to let me not go to the bank. And I was like, I'm not going to the fucking bank.
I mean, that sounds like a kidnapping situation, but that's okay.
We're going to the bank.
So we're sitting at the bank and she keeps scooting her chair away from me in this lady's office. We started a foot away. We were like 5 feet away.
Because you kept texting me ridiculous nonsense.
So then she looks at the lady at the bank and goes, "Hey, if you get kidnapped, have they instructed you to just shit yourself?"
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't say that out loud to the bank lady.
Meredith.
She's like, if I rob the bank and kidnap you. And I'm like, stop saying it out loud.
I've heard, rumor has it, if somebody goes into a bank to rob it and they try to kidnap an employee, the employee has been instructed to shit their pants to stop the kidnapping. So I asked. And she said, we're not instructed to do that anymore. That's a much older protocol.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I was thinking about it. And I was like, I don't know if I could just shit on command like that. And she's like, yeah, I don't think I could either. Like, I don't think she was offended by me asking.
I don't know that
worried about her being offended. I was worried about the police coming.
Yeah. That's an odd question.
What? How is that an odd question? Who else are you going to ask?
You're actively...
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll throw the bearded brown guys in the bank saying, with the crazy woman saying, "Hey, if we try to rob you and steal you,
I didn't say that.
Need to bring diapers?"
I didn't say that. I never once said that. I said if you were, and I feel like the police would be on my side with this. If you were to be kidnapped during a bank robbery, I didn't say I was going to rob it. I didn't say I was going to kidnap you.
Right.
I said, if you were, would you be instructed to shit your pants? That was it.
Okay.
So I was, and she said no.
So how was your week, Tiffany?
Thank you, Dave. It was all right. Chloe was sick, and then I've gotten whatever she had.
Oh no.
So it's been stupid, but it could be worse.
How has your weather been? Because ours has been terrible.
As far as
Just constant rain and dreariness. We've not seen sun in like 2.5, 3 weeks.
oh, I wish. No, the sun. So here it's like the weather can't make up its mind. Right now it's very dreary and rainy, but by the afternoon it's going to be so humid and hot that I'm not going to want to go out there at all.
So have the kids have still had sports every night?
Yeah, but they've been like rained out randomly also.
Yeah, because like it's not stopped. Like when I say it's not stopped raining, I'm not kidding. It has not stopped raining in a solid 3 weeks.
I love that.
It feels like, I feel like Eeyore.
That's my gloomy weather is my favorite.
It's driving me nuts.
That's why I believe certain people should live in certain locations. Like I don't think I'm cut out for Florida.
You want to go to like Oregon, Seattle?
I mean, those are random to me, but probably there's a reason that you
because it rains like nonstop in Seattle.
Yeah. Remember when we went to Seattle and almost got felonies?
Yeah. I do. Breaking and entering.
Yeah, that was a good time. Just kidding. Yeah. I stayed in the car the whole time because I didn't want to be an accessory to your crimes.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's about it. That's about it for my week. My week has consisted of just trying to be productive and trying to rest all equally.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
had to cancel an NA commitment, which makes me really sad. I've never had to do that.
Because you were sick? Because you were sick?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, because Chloe was too. It's some kind of stomach situation. Like,
oh no.
Yeah. Vomiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She hates that.
Exactly. She has like an actual thing about it, emetophobia. And so it's always a highly emotional time in our lives when that happens. Yeah. I kept her home from school and it was cool though. I love days like that. For some reason, when my kids are next to me, I sleep so soundly. Like I take the best naps of my life when the kids are near me while I'm napping.
Yeah. I get that. It's safety.
And we're starting family therapy, which is so exciting.
Great.
It's been a little bit since we've done it. And it's great because all of us are participating. And I had the intake yesterday. And so I have high hopes.
That's awesome. Is it virtual or in person?
In person.
Oh, good. So you found a time that worked for everybody.
Well, so yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Well,
I don't really have anything exciting to report, honestly. Like there is nothing. Like I've been just in a cocoon of dark. I started watching a show that I like.
Oh, what are you watching?
It's called Unreal. And it's scripted based on the filming of a reality show, but it really focuses on not just the contestants, but also the crew. Like behind the scenes, and it shows like how scripted and crazy and stuff it is. It's really managed to capture my attention so far.
What's it on?
The TV.
No.
Netflix.
Okay.
It's really interesting because it's like if they want, they take bets on like which girl is going to be so they're all assigned a girl and they're like, okay, who thinks they can make their girl have a meltdown first? And then the winner gets like a cash prize. And so they go to the girls and they're like, they have their background. And
is this based on The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Yes. Cause I saw, they did a doc about that, maybe about The Bachelor. Maybe that's what I was watching, a documentary about The Bachelor. And they literally were talking about how that legitimately happened.
Oh, really?
They would poke and prod these contestants to see what they could get them to do on camera.
And
I didn't know they made a scripted show about it.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because you don't realize it, but the whole crew is like hanging out with, like, if the cast is by the pool, the whole crew's there sitting on benches, like just outside of frame and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how much they call cut, like you don't think about it. And they have the backgrounds of all these girls, and like this girl was in foster care, she was adopted, and so they would like, they're trying specifically to get this girl to have a meltdown, so they bring up her past and shit off camera, and then as soon as she freaks out, they start recording. Like, it's very crazy to think that that might actually happen.
Oh no, it literally, I'm telling you, I watched the docu series or whatever on that, and that's what they did.
That's wild.
They completely admitted to it. That's what they were doing. They would pull pain points. They would poke them until they would have meltdowns. And then they would keep these villains basically on the show as long as they could.
Exactly.
In order to get the ratings up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's what happened on the scripted show. The villain got, well, I don't want to do spoilers. Just in case.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a thing. So I'll have to watch that because I watched the other stuff, and then Jackson's in the Christmas tree. And actually I just sat and watched an entire season yesterday.
Did you?
Of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh yes. Oh, you know what? Can I say something?
Yes.
I feel so bad for I haven't watched the show, but I've known Dakota for a long time, and I feel so bad for the backlash that's coming from that show about him. I haven't watched it, but I've heard so many bad things, and I feel so bad because he really he changed so much when he got with her.
Is he somebody that people knew prior to the show?
Yeah. Well, I did.
Who is he?
He was a creator, but he's in recovery. And so he was living like with his family, and they were like this Mormon family, and they had a farm and like chickens and shit. And so he would post really funny content. And I found him and instantly laughed so hard about one of his videos where he had ducks hidden in his hoodie. And his sister's like, "Why do you look so guilty?" And he's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "What do you got going on?" And you just hear little tweets. Anyway, it made me laugh. And then we had talked a few times, and he's, you think, I don't know him personally. I've never hung out with him. We've conversed, but he was always a really good person. And it makes me so sad that he is getting a bad rep from the show.
Well, it does not portray him in a good light. I'll tell you that because I watched the entire season.
I hate it. I hate that. That makes me so sad. I mean, I don't know him well enough to say it's fake, or I'm not that it's fake. I don't know him well enough to say that's not what he's like, but I'm shocked at the headlines that I'm seeing.
Well, this is what I'll tell you. If you like quote unquote reality TV, this one is salacious, gossipy, catty. It includes all of the triggers, right? Religion, drinking, drugs, pregnancy out of marriage, swinging, you name it. Like, it hits every single like pop, 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 pop. And I sat there yesterday. At one point I got up and my watch was like, "Congratulations for standing, you piece of shit. You've been sedentary for 6 hours."
I heard a lot of people like the show.
Listen, I was hooked. Hook, line, and sinker. It had me. I was in.
Good for them.
Can you tell your friends to stop texting in the middle of our podcast?
Me?
No, it's Dave's. I don't know is this on our recording? I surely hope not.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't hear the dinging?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then it's not on the recording because it's on his computer, so it's coming through my headphones. Anyway,
Good for Dave having
sorry,
friends.
Phil, cut that out. But what I will tell you is I knew nothing. So this is why this is funny to me. So I knew nothing about these Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I knew nothing about the cast of these women. I didn't know their social following. I knew nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I figured this out is I would post a TikTok video and I would hashtag mom talk because I thought it meant moms who were on TikTok.
LOL.
LOL. So I'm hashtagging mom talk, which is this group of Mormon women who are on TikTok, these wives. And I'm like, here's my fall tree, hashtag mom talk. Like a fucking dipshit.
It's just your pictures mixed in with theirs.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, just cleaned my kitchen floors, hashtag mom talk. And
Hilarious.
Mind you, Mom Talk is this group of Mormon women who were known for swinging.
That's hilarious.
And all this other shit. And so I had to go on TikTok and I'm like, I apologize for hashtagging Mom Talk on my last 14 videos, as I thought it was moms who were on TikTok and not Mormon women / wives / moms who may or may not have been involved in soft swinging.
That's so funny.
And then I turned on the Hulu and there was the show. And I was like, oh my gosh, these are the Mom Talk women. And so I was like, I got to watch this. And of course, Sophia walks out and she goes, oh, you're watching Taylor? And I was like, how do you know this woman?
I thought her name was Frankie.
Why are you following a Mormon woman on TikTok? This Mormon woman, mom on TikTok. And she's like, I watched the body cam footage of her getting arrested.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then I started watching it and it all made sense because she does get arrested for domestic violence against Dakota, which is apparently not news. I just knew nothing about these people.
Right.
But I was drawn in.
I don't like that kind of stuff. Like it, I don't know. It doesn't
it's straight voyeurism.
I love voyeurism. That's
Says
separate.
The felon.
That's separate. I love watching, but these shows aren't really my jam.
I know they're not. I know we have very different taste in our television consumption, but I'm just saying if you fall on my side and you are a Love at First Sight or Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, like 90 Day Fiance, like this show is definitely right up your alley. And you will enjoy it. And I did post yesterday. I posted an Instagram story. Let me get the results. So I posted an Instagram story asking people, who's your favorite? Now, it only allowed me to put 4 options up because that's what you get on an Instagram poll. But I was like, who's your favorite? Is it Taylor, Demi, Whitney, or Macy? And people's faves, it was close. 30% said Taylor, 33% said Demi, 13% said Whitney, and 23% said Macy. Demi is my favorite.
I don't know who that is.
Right, because you didn't watch the show, but people who've watched the show that are listening to this are going to know, and they're going to be like, oh.
I love her in G.I. Jane.
So anyway, yeah, so, and I like her very much because she's loud and blunt, and she says the F word a lot. I like her. I also like Macy. I like Taylor. I do not like Whitney. I think Whitney has bad vibes.
Yeah, but again, how can we trust that Whitney has bad vibes, or if that's the character that they made her out to be in the show?
Oh, well, it's all based on what we're watching. I don't know her. That's what I'm saying. I don't know her. I don't know any of these women. I didn't know them before this.
I feel bad. I feel bad anytime somebody's painted to be the villain and then has to receive the backlash for it. I hate that.
Yeah, well,
because I feel like it would somehow end up being me. Like I could just see myself in that position and being like, no, I didn't mean to be an asshole. I was so much nicer 5 seconds before cameras started rolling. Like,
well, I think to your point of the show that you're watching, which we know is the reality of what it is behind the scenes, is that they are goading these people into saying certain things, acting a certain way in order to get viewership.
Well, I told you about the production company that wanted to do a reality show about my family, right? In 2018 when I was popping.
Yeah.
And they said I was going to be the next Roseanne Barr, but like in reality. And I said to them, I just want to make sure that I have like the final say on what ends up on the show and like what is portrayed, because I don't want my family to be portrayed in any negative light. And they said, absolutely not. You have no say.
Yeah.
Not even a little. I have zero say. And that's when I declined.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, to your credit of what you're talking about in this show, I think that's exactly what they want to do, right? They want the ratings. They want it to be salacious. They want it to be headline grabbing. So they're going to paint it in the light that's going to give them exactly that.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm saying, you're like, I know this Dakota guy. Well, he's not painted well in the series.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I don't know him, but before he got with her, we had conversed a few times. And I actually thought he was adorable. Like, I was like, he is so cute. He's in recovery. He's hilarious. Like, this would be perfect. And then obviously he ended up getting with someone way tinier and prettier and cuter and more famous. But I really liked him. And I'm sad that this is his reality now. And I hope that he can stay strong through this. I know a lot of people are speculating that he was using on the show and stuff. And either way, I just hope that he doesn't allow this to send him into a place where he can't be there for his kid.
Yeah, I don't, that part I don't know. And I haven't really read the backlash that's going on. I just know that it pertains to him cheating on his baby mama.
Cheating on her?
Yeah. What do you mean?
He did, or there's speculation?
They end the season with, did he, didn't he?
No. Maybe we shouldn't have said that.
Why?
Because that was a big spoiler.
It's not a big spoiler, because when he's first introduced into it, it's already discussed.
Oh, okay.
It's not, it's a through line. So it's not, I'm not, plus
okay.
I think a lot of these people, like you said, like they knew who these people were prior to the show, right? I didn't know who any of these people were, but that's because I also thought Mom Talk was moms who were on TikTok. Like, I have no clue about my surroundings, apparently. Yeah, because people are in here and the podcast are like, I remember Taylor's arrest, seeing the body cam footage on like Crime TV or something. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know about any of that. But my 15-year-old daughter knew.
Yeah.
Because it was all over TikTok.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I hope that this helped them in their lives and that it was worth it. I always just feel so bad for people who get exposed in that way. And it's like, I know they signed up for it and they knew the consequences, and hopefully it's paying off for them in a positive way.
Well, I want to say, let me Google it really quick.
I just think too deeply about shit, I think. I just feel bad. But maybe if I watch the show, it'll make me not feel as bad. Maybe I'll be like, F these people.
No. Listen, I think you watch it knowing the lens.
Yeah, I don't even for some reason, I can't bring myself to watch it.
You don't have to.
And it's not because I don't, it's a psychological thing. I don't know.
There are a couple Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants who committed suicide after the show. What? Because of how they felt that they were portrayed on the show.
That was my fear. That's really sad. I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah.
I could see it.
But that's what I'm saying, like to what you're saying about this scripted show that you're watching. So, and it's, I think they actually tried to call to get the show taken off the air so that they couldn't film it anymore because of that. But it didn't. They're still filming it. There's still new seasons.
Of the Mormon?
No, of The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Oh.
But I'm saying, right, to what you were saying about the backlash.
Yeah, that's
about what happens after the show airs and they see how they've been portrayed and people comment on it on social media and da-da-da-da. Because you got to remember too, like, yeah, there was, I mean, what was the first reality TV show? Like what year would you say the first reality TV shows? Real World? What?
1992.
So, like early 90s?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't social media.
I know.
So you could watch a reality show and yeah, some things could come out maybe in like a news magazine, but it wasn't going to happen the way it happened happens now today.
Yeah. I get really existential about the way things are today. I hate it. I hate it so much. I wish I could go back to a simpler time. Don't get me started.
Simpler times.
Back in my day.
That reminds me of one of the first reality shows, which was Paris Hilton and
A Simple Life.
A Simple Life. When you said that,
really enjoyed that show.
Because that was a reality show.
Me and my best friend would always be like, "That's hot. That's hot."
Yeah.
We used to say it all the time.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting, right? Because reality TV has changed quite a bit from its origins, but also the way people react to it because they have immediate, like once it airs, people are just going in and they're giving all of their opinions.
Oh, I know. It's a nightmare. It's my worst
in
nightmare.
real time. And then they're doing a podcast about it. And then they're on the front page of The Sun and The Wire and the this and the that and the whatever. Yeah.
I've got a documentary coming out the end of this year, everyone, if you want to watch it. It's called The Secret Lives of Super Hot House Moms who have crippling anxiety. Pretty much. That's not the name of it.
That sounds thrilling.
But that's 100% what it is. It's a housewife, not super hot, but with anxiety, going to jumpy places and doing exposure therapy. Like that. I think that's maybe why I'm so sensitive, because this could very easily be my future in a couple of months. Like very easily. I don't know how I'm going to be painted. I had no say in the final documentary and how it's portrayed. And
is this the one about the comics?
Yeah. Like my ex-husband's in it, and they interview him, and I have no clue what he said.
Did they interview him post-divorce?
No, thank God. Thank God.
And you haven't seen it?
No. Nope. None of it. And I'm the main character. Not to be like tutti frutti about my horn, but it's just a fact that I'm the through line. So I'm going to have very much be exposed in this.
What
film.
is this coming out on?
Well, there's a film festival that I'm going to at the end of this year where it's going to premiere, and then it gets shopped at this festival.
Oh, where is the film festival?
New York.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were, I mean, I knew about the documentary, but I didn't know you were going to a film festival to watch the premiere and all that.
Yeah. I'm a panelist for the premiere. She's going to try to get some other people from the movie, which would be cool because there's a couple people I might fangirl over a little bit.
That's so cool.
But I'm not going to admit it.
All right. Well, if you need a +1.
Do you want to be my plus? Oh, I don't think I have a +1. I don't think it's like that. But if it is, I'll bring you if you want to come.
Yeah, I want to go.
I don't know if I can even do that, but if I can,
if it's your documentary, you can't ask for an extra ticket.
It's not my documentary. I'm just a cast member.
All right.
I'll put you on the phone with them. They know you. I'll be like, hey, Meredith wants to come. You might be in it, Mayor. Remember when they came to that show?
I do remember when they came, yeah, but I don't remember actually being interviewed.
Thank God, because you'd be like, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I know we're here about Tiffany, but I'd like to talk about my anxiety. It's actually really bad today. And I was wondering if the therapy is 2 for 1.
Yeah, I'd love some free therapy. No, I would, by the way, love some free therapy because our therapy bill is sky high. But no, I don't remember being interviewed, but I remember chatting with them and they were all very nice.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, they were all very, very nice. And I remember kind of just sitting back and watching and just being like, wow, that's cool. Because they were,
I'd be very surprised if they painted me intentionally in a negative light. I think I paint my own self that way. So it won't take much in the way of editing. But I mean, if they were to like splice things together to make me look extra crazy, that would make me sad.
I don't think that's what's going to happen in the least, but I mean, so you don't get to see it before the premiere?
No.
God, that's rough.
I was also at my heaviest weight, which is interesting because by the end of the film, when they came back to interview me, it was actually post-divorce, but I didn't mention it in the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like dead inside.
So that was within the past year.
Yeah. They came back to do a final interview and I was like skinny and blonde.
When did it start?
Oh, years ago.
I know. Do you remember the year though? Was
No.
it 2018, 2019?
I suck at years. 2019, maybe?
2019. I love you. Have a good day.
Did she say it back?
I don't know.
Little
She didn't want to go to school today.
Oh, was that the door slamming?
Yeah, that was, I guess I don't know what's going on behind me. Doors are slamming. Sophia did not want to go to school today.
Why?
She said they were going to do nothing. And I was like, well, you still have to go, even if they're going to do nothing.
That's all the more reason to go.
I don't know why they would do nothing. But.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything else going on?
No, I'm still not sure what's going on behind this wall.
Do you want to check it out?
You're not driving her to school? No. Drive her to the bus stop. No. It's fine. Oh, that's why she's mad. She's not getting driven to the bus stop.
Oh.
That's why she's mad because it's probably, is it raining?
No. It's not even hot out.
You know what? It builds character.
She hates walking to the bus stop.
Don't yawn.
Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, well, that's, that was interesting. I didn't know it was taken where it was going to go today on the podcast.
Yeah, neither did I.
With shit on a shingle.
Yeah. And ended with,
Do you know the title of the documentary?
I do.
Are you allowed to say?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Never mind.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Well,
make sure to get ominous way to end this.
Make sure to get tickets to one of our live podcast shows at podcasttake-it-or-leave-it.com. And new dates will be added soon. You can come see us October 20-something in Hartford, Manchester, Connecticut. I don't know why it has 2 names, as well as Albany, New York. And we are really excited to be back out on the road and seeing all of you guys. So make sure to tell all your friends and grab tickets now before we sell out.
Because we're so close.
We will sell out. It will happen. And then you'll be just sad in Manchester, Connecticut.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So
yeah. So join us next week for another episode of Take It
or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast hosted by 2 struggling moms
who have no idea what we're doing.
We'll see you next time.
We love you. Bye.